Hello everyone, and welcome to my The Bold and the Beautiful official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Eric Forrester will finally make a full recovery to go back home. Eric feared he was gonna when he fell at his goodbye party the last time he was at the Forrester home. Eric was able to be with his family once more because of John Finn Finnegan's life-saving care. Regretfully, B&B spoilers indicate that Eric's recuperation will be a drawn-out and difficult procedure. There have been strong indications that Eric might not be exactly who he once was. Since quality of life is now a major consideration, when Eric leaves the hospital, it may come into play. Forrester Ridge doesn't want Eric to hold a grudge against him for going above and above to keep his father alive. But given that Ridge disregarded Eric's pleas to go on, there is a possibility. Naturally, there's a chance Eric will need to spend some time in a long-term care facility. It can take a while for Eric to return to his previous self, therefore he might need to stay in a specialist medical facility. However, the Forresters are extremely wealthy and could be able to arrange for any type of long-term care Eric might want in the estate. Donna Logan could decide to assist Eric in returning to his own house, since she believes he would feel more at ease there. Eric's return must occur sooner or later, in any case. When it occurs, some of the changes Donna is witnessing in her honey bear might be too much to handle. It's simple to see Eric become aloof and indifferent. Fans may finally see some of the changes that the program has been attempting to alert us to at this point. Eric may experience flashbacks to his earlier years when he danced and played the piano, particularly if his recuperation has made it impossible for him to perform such activities. That may irritate and depress Eric, but perhaps Donna and his other loved ones can help him remember what's truly important. The good news is that Eric is still alive and will be there for significant family occasions in the future. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Eric may face some difficulties in the future. Follow along for more on Donna's reactions. Friday, January 5 spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful indicate that John Finn Finnegan will discuss Xander Avon's visit to his office and all of the Thomas Forrester trashing he did in more detail. Finn was forced to stop talking about this by Steffy Forrester, but he almost called Hope Logan right away to tell her what he had discovered and to show worry for her safety. Hope is aware of the circumstances surrounding Emma Barber's death, of course, but she can bring up the fact that the police determined that reckless driving was to blame for the collision. Since Steffy told him, Finn is aware of that as well, but that doesn't mean he can ignore Xander's charge and how fervently he wanted to hold Thomas accountable. Finn will warn Hope and advise her to exercise caution since he fears that Thomas might not have changed after all. Naturally, Hope will have some old grievances brought up by this and be plagued by all that has transpired in the past. After Finn tells her all the disturbing information he's uncovered, Hope will be greatly reminded of Thomas's part in concealing Beth Spencer's survival. As a result, Hope will be quite troubled. Thomas will be anxious for a different cause in the interim, as Steffy will keep him informed about Xander's slanderous remarks. Thomas may come to the realization that he needs to handle the situation after he sees how passionate Finn is about defending Hope. Thomas will undoubtedly become enraged at Finn for making Steffy feel uncomfortable and worry about how Finn's disclosure to Hope may impact the situation. Thomas could decide to track Hope down and reassure her, since the last thing he wants is for Finn to undo the progress they've achieved together in recent months. Ridge Forrester will next chat with Carter Walton and Brooke Logan in Eric Forrester's John McCook office on Friday's B&B episode. They may talk about Eric's recuperation. There will undoubtedly be some discussion about Thomas as well, so if things go south with Hope, Brooke could be concerned that Thomas would turn back. Ridge feels that Thomas has made a genuine change in his life, but Brooke will always be haunted by the awful things he did. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Carter could also have an opportunity to comment on Thomas, so tune in to hear what he has to say. Wonderful spoilers recap for Wednesday, January 3. uncovers that John Finn Finnegan communicated worry to Steffy Forrester since Xander Avant was persuaded that Thomas Forrester caused Emma Stylist's destruction. Despite the fact that Thomas had committed a few horrendous errors, Steffy contended that he hadn't gone that far. All things being equal, Finn didn't think Steffy appeared to be astounded that Xander would fault Thomas. Steffy made sense of that Xander became involved with the disarray when Beth Spencer was a child, and that he guaranteed he was undermined by Thomas to stay silent. Taking into account the state Thomas was in at that point, Steffy conceded that part was presumably evident. Notwithstanding, Steffy was inflexible that Emma just failed to keep a grip on her vehicle and took a turn excessively fast. After Steffy inferred that Xander was making these allegations as some kind of compensation, she pushed Finn to drop the matter since it was all extremely disturbing. Finn discussed how profoundly disturbed Thomas was the point at which he was fixated on Trust Logan. Something was genuinely off base, so Finn believed that they expected to keep their eyes open when it came to Steffy's sibling, regardless of the amount of treatment Thomas possessed. After Steffy said Finn was correct, she admitted that she was stressed over Thomas getting set off once more, assuming expectation let him down. In the meantime, Trust let Thomas know that perhaps some time or another she'd express yes to his proposition, yet she trusted he could comprehend that she wasn't prepared for that degree of responsibility at this moment. Thomas conceded he was a piece disheartened. However, he guaranteed Trust that he for sure comprehended and was ready to pause. Trust likewise recommended that they ought to keep this proposition between them, since there was at that point sufficient show over their relationship. Thomas recognized that Brute Logan would crack assuming she knew. As talk went to individuals who didn't endorse their sentiment, Thomas raised Finn, attacking him over his Steffy conflict. Thomas pondered for quite a while Finn's thought process of him. However, presently Finn was spreading the word. Trust streaked back to Finn, telling her that she could show improvement over Thomas and appeared to be at peace, shaken. When Trust proposed that Finn would come around, Thomas contended that Trust had previously come around, and her viewpoint was the one in particular that made a difference to him. Thomas thought it was a decent sign that Trust didn't toss the ring right in front of him, and felt certain that they could have a decent coexistence. After Thomas said Douglas Forrester would be euphoric assuming they got hitched, he asked Desire to take as much time as necessary since he was staying put. Thomas said he'd never meander to another lady since Trust was the main person for him. Trust appeared to be overpowered as she acknowledged Thomas' warm hug with a ton at the forefront of her thoughts. At Il Giardino on Wednesday's B&B episode, Bill Spencer got together with Liam Spencer for drinks and referenced that he had a supper date coming up later. Liam learned about Bill going out with Finn's auntie and educated his father had a previous association with Poppy Nozawa. Bill made sense of that. He was unable to shake the inclination that he'd met Poppy previously, and presently he made certain of it. Liam wished Bill karma and trusted that this secret lady carried something particularly amazing to his life. Back at Forrester Manifestations, Luna Nozawa was amped up for Poppy's date with Bill. However, RG Forrester kidded that Poppy ought to run as quick as she could away from him. Despite the fact that RG recognized that his family definitely disapproved of Bill, Luna pushed Poppy to proceed to make up her own brain. Since Bill had found Poppy's number and could know her from an earlier time, Luna pushed her mother to go and behaved like she had a lot to gain by just trying. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.